We now rejoin Winter Ready 2011 with News 8's Scott Hetsko.
Oh, you bet we do. You know, we love doing these every year. Been doing it many years, but we got a new gal. You remember Stacy? Yeah, here she is, and she's here talking about an amazing storm. Now, this is the blizzard of '93 we're looking at behind me. I know you were like in 4th grade, right, when this was going down?
Close. I was 11.
I was out of college. That's how old I am. So anyway, this storm, exceptional in its length, scope, and devastating effects, but also It was well predicted, right?
It absolutely was. I remember this storm very vividly. Now, this storm started in the Gulf of Mexico. It traveled all up along the East Coast, and it actually affected 10 million people. They lost power all up and down the East Coast, and believe it or not, 20 to even 40 inches of snow fell all across parts of western New York State. Now, let's take a closer look at the storm of the century. This was the big one. The classic blizzard most will talk about for years and remember for a lifetime. Born in the Gulf of Mexico, the superstorm of '93 affected the entire eastern seaboard, dropping a foot of snow as far south as Alabama and paralyzing parts of Pennsylvania and New York with as much as 40 inches of snow. Travel along the thruway was difficult, to say the least, with Syracuse recording more than 3.5 feet of snow. Here in Rochester, people took no chances. Houses along the lakeshore were boarded up and grocery stores were mobbed.
I anticipate a big storm, so I'm going to buy as much as I can.
Maybe a little bit. I like to cook if I'm going to be stuck inside.
Lakeside communities like Greece received the worst of the winds. Gusts blew in excess of 45 miles per hour for over a day, making flooding and icing a major hassle. Plows and officials had a tremendous task ahead of them.
With the low temperatures, the salt is far less effective, and there's less traffic on the road to help the salt work. So, you know, it's going to be a continuous battle.
And while the driving snow and wind made life difficult for most, there were still a few who were wowed by the winter wonderland.
Are you having fun? Oh yeah, plenty of fun.
For Winter Ready 2011, I'm meteorologist Stacy Pengen.
What a storm the '93 blizzard was, the superstorm for the eastern seaboard, including here in western New York. But the real storm here in the Rochester area for Rochesterians that we will not forget is the blizzard of 1996. Why is that? Well, 23 inches of snow fell on January 3rd, an all-time record for daily snowfall here in Rochester, and temperatures remained in the teens for 5 days following the storm. It was a brutal stretch, and let's take a look back at the blizzard of '96. January 3rd, 1996. Rochester got buried with the biggest one-day snowfall in our history. Nearly 2 feet of fresh snow fell before a new day began. The combination of a nor'easter centered near the Jersey coast and a cold Arctic high to the north across southeastern Canada produced heavy snow that was enhanced by Lake Ontario thanks to the cold, moist northeast flow. This was the perfect setup that caused the snowiest 24-hour period in recorded history in Rochester.
We were spoiled last winter. We had a real easy winter last year, and I figured this year we were going to get hit. And so far, I guess today they were saying we're going to go over the snowfall we had all of last year just in today's storm alone. I guess we kind of had it coming. The following 4 days, high temperatures only managed to climb into the teens, keeping the deep snowpack in place. Clearing the snow was a workout. Getting to work and school became nearly impossible for a few days.
Medic 90 on location reporting approximately 6 vehicles so far involved. Also reporting driving conditions extremely hazardous.
Snow-covered roads led to dozens of accidents on area roadways. Plenty of problems to remind this former Rochesterian and now stranded traveler why he got out of town in the first place.
Once I get out of here, I think I'll be fine. I've really had my fill of Rochester winter for now, I think.
For every one of those guys, there's at least one big kid like this.
I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because I like to be out in the snow.
For Winter Ready 2011, I'm meteorologist John DePasquale.
And living in western New York, you almost have to like to be out in the snow. Now, we've had more than our fair share of snow, from lake effect to nor'easters, and the blizzard of 1966 combines both of those factors. Check out some of these facts. The average temperature during that storm was 15 degrees, so very, very cold. Also, the snowfall throughout the entire storm, almost 50 inches of snow. We're talking about 48.5 inches. Let's take a closer look at it. If you were living in Rochester in 1966, this is the storm you'll never forget.
I made more money that week shoveling driveways than I'd seen in my life.
And Bob Duffy took full advantage of the nasty weather.
Rest assured, my mother took 90% of it and put it in the bank.
And despite the opportunities the blizzard of '66 created for the young and ambitious, it proved to be a headache for most. With over 20